We
And
fixed
we're
it. We did it.
Yeah.
We're the best.
And now we're actually live.
Now we should actually be
Yeah.
live. For those of you who didn't see the first half, we had some technical difficulties, but
I think we
we're
figured it
back.
out.
Yeah, and if you're watching this later, you'll have no idea what we're talking about because it's going to be one cohesive whole when we upload it. So,
Yes.
sorry.
Okay, and we have a person, so it's confirmed. We did our jobs.
Great.
Good job.
So, for those of you who are live, we're going to do a very, very fast summary.
Mhm.
We are doing a story today about a man who dreams about the same girl every single night since he was 8.
Mhm.
And because he has done this, he has ended up falling in love with her.
Mhm.
We have proceeded from that premise phase to the character creation phase.
So we've created 3 characters. We have the main dream boy who has dreamt about a girl since he was like 8 years old, right? And he's fallen in love with her, right? We also have the dream girl who is very realistic. She's probably a lawyer or something like that, like very real, kind of extroverted, more
in contrast
social.
to this guy's artistic, big
Introverted.
dreamer, introverted self.
Right. And then the third character that we've come up with is an actual girl that he is pursuing at the moment. Somebody who he is fully aware is a real person in his life, whereas the dream girl is he still thinks is just in his dreams, right?
What do you think this person's like?
Should we start the timer after we get her? Then we'll restart that timer.
So what do you think we're gonna resume?
Oh, okay.
Because we have only 7. We had 7 minutes to do it. We have 3 minutes left. We're sticking to our rules.
Okay, here we go.
So, this other girl, what's she like? The one who's actually real.
I think she's way overly bubbly. In my head, and you correct me if you think anything different, but I think she is just like eccentric, bubbly, super extra social. You know what I mean? Like,
there's not too many downsides with her. I think she's a very safe person. She's happy. She's bright. She's well established. I think there's nothing. There's probably nothing like super amazing about her. Not something super like this is weird to say, but like a very just safe. She's a safe person for him.
Yeah.
Right. She'll allow him to be an introvert. She's not going to push him.
Right.
She does very just.
She loves him for him, right? Like just
all great things.
All great things. Yeah.
But there's just not that spark.
Yeah.
Probably.
Just missing that like romantic spark that everyone always talks about.
Great.
Yeah.
So there's 3. 4 and 5.
Okay. I think Dream Boy needs a best friend. You know what I mean? So I'm going to throw in another guy into this. I think he's going to be the extrovert, right? He's the one always inviting him to go out, get over this dream girl, stop talking about her, like pursue obviously the real girl and come to these parties with me. Like he gets him out of his shell, maybe a little bit.
Probably the one who set him up with Safe Girl.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. Oh, Safe Girl's his cousin or something.
Another one. It's the best friend's cousin.
The best friend's cousin, not his actual. Yeah.
Anyways,
he gets him to go out and do stuff, right? He's the reason our main character has a social life.
Great.
That's what I think. So one more character at least.
What do you think about a therapist? That'd be very interesting foil for him because obviously he's like, well, this can't be healthy,
right?
Maybe we don't have to put a therapist in there.
Yeah.
I mean, if we don't put a therapist, the natural next character would be the girl's best friend.
Right.
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 Where are you leaning? What does your heart say? You have 45 seconds to make a choice.
Oh no. Oh no. The funny thing is I thought, okay, therapist, and then the therapist actually falls in love with him. Like everybody's falling in love with Dream Boy. But maybe
that's why they call him Dream Boy.
That's why it's Dream Boy. I think the story would be more fun probably if it was her best friend.
Great. So we have another best friend. And is she how does she make her life, the Dream Girl's life harder? Because we don't necessarily want to make it like hey Reese.
We got 1 second.
We have 9 seconds.
Oh no.
We have a full 5 seconds left. Besides
talking too much about the time. I'd say we're out of time.
We are out of time. But we will say that there is a best friend. Yep. Hopefully we'll figure out more about that best friend And as the plot thickens,
Yeah.
literally.
Yes.
Because the
we'll
next
figure out more.
the next phase is we got to get ourselves a beginning
Mhm.
and a middle and an end to
Man.
the story in 7 minutes. So
Mhm.
here's our timer. And let's talk about plot.
Gives me
baby.
so much anxiety when you hit that start button. Okay.
So
Beginning of the story. What were you
beginning.
thinking? Usually you have a beginning when you have the idea. Or do you have
Not
the end?
always.
What part do you feel like you have? Because we don't have to
So,
go in order.
No,
That's one of
need
the
it.
things that always like pigeonholes us is if you feel like you go in order, you pigeonhole yourself. Like, where are you at? Where's your brain?
In fact, as a writer, it often is detrimental not to have an end. You know, if you like, for instance, I start a lot of the times with just a beginning and or just a character or something, but then I just start writing and I don't have this end. But if you don't have an end in mind, you know, it becomes a lot harder to create the rest of your story because you need to.
So going
maybe
into the
let's think
story.
about end.
So
How do you want it to end?
I think the end leads to obviously you want the dream boy to end up with the dream girl.
Yeah, it's got
right.
happen.
Like that's just what the promise of the whole thing is. Like dream boy ends up with dream girl, and maybe best friend ends up with best friend, or best friend ends up with therapist, or whatever we decide.
Yeah, or maybe best friend is happy single.
Or happy single. Yeah. I just feel
depends.
like it would be a funny, like
it would be a funny mix. It just
intricate, like
okay.
that's it. That's all I had to say.
Because I was just going to say that whatever fits the theme.
Yeah.
Which I definitely feel like there's a theme about chasing your dreams no matter what the risk is. So if one of the best friends theme or one of the best friends like is dreaming of like opening a shoe store, then like at the end she should be with a shoe store.
She should
like
be
that's like not with it, but like you know she should be establishing a
Right.
shoe store. So if someone else is ending up with a like if the best friends are ending up together, then one of their dreams should probably be I would love to be married. That's my dream because then I could do this and this and this. You know?
One of the dream people.
No, not the dream people. The best friends. If they're ending up together, one of their dreams should probably be
maybe
to be
that's
married or
I think that's probably the dream girl's best friend.
Cool.
She wants to be married, and so she's pushing her friend to do that stuff, kind of
living vicariously.
Exactly.
Maybe she's given up. Oh, look at this. We're coming up with the character.
Yeah.
She's given up on her dreams and she's living vicariously through Dream Girl.
Yeah.
But Dream Girl's so practical, she doesn't want to. And so that's a great dynamic. Okay, great.
There it is.
Came up with the other character.
Okay.
Now we have 4 minutes and 30 seconds to
come up
with
the story. Okay.
So as in, they end up together, right?
Yeah. Beginning of the story. I think it starts off with a dream. You know, it's kind of jarring. Like you see Dream Boy and Dream Girl together, kind of like you're going to see at the end, but you see them together in the dream. And it's kind of, what's the word? It's too good to be true in the dream. And it's just way too happy of a beginning, I think. And then all of a sudden he wakes up and it's alarm. So as an audience member, you're like, what's real? And then he wakes up, you realize, oh, everything I just saw was a dream. You know what I mean?
Do you think we see the first time they meet up in a dream when they're 8, or do you start off when they're older?
Start off when they're older,
and then flashbacks during therapy sessions.
Flashbacks, yeah.
Okay,
so then the first scene, you open up, he dreams, he wakes up, alarm goes off, boom, whips out his dream journal, starts writing everything about her.
That's cool. I like that beginning because then we can show us like
that.
He's a little bit obsessive. This guy,
yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
And then I think the opening sequences of the show is really just a sequence of his very normal, average life.
Yeah.
And we'll see stuff like he's going throughout his day, wakes up, does that dream journal,
right?
Wakes up, goes to his job. We realize he hates his job.
Right. He's going through the motions, you know, and then like you see him like not very excited to like set up this next date with this other girl.
And maybe even dropping some hints of like another dream that he's given up on. Like maybe he wanted to be a rock star.
Yeah.
And like we see pictures of him with guitars and stuff. And like
I like that.
He at work and he's not fantasizing Walter Mitty style, but like
right. But he's like
he wants
to do something else, but he's stuck where he's at, and then he's having to set up like this date thing with this other girl. Right. And so that kind of leads. So we have beginning and end. So now we need the middle part.
Yeah. I guess my question is then what's the sorry, this is going a little too in depth, but my mind's got to know it. What's the inciting incident? What's that thing in the beginning that like sets him off, that lets him actually, when does he start thinking this girl's actually real?
I know. Well, maybe I have an idea.
What's your idea?
Because I bark at you. He like as he's walking to work or something, he like thinks he sees her, the dream girl, and then she keeps walking.
Does he?
I think he actually sees
That'd
her,
actually be really cool.
but then he's like not sure and he's second guessing himself because it's like
can't find her. Maybe he
Can't
runs
find her,
after
yeah,
her, but
run-
like she disappears.
yeah, can't find her, but
Cool.
like he sees her and he knows he sees her,
Cool.
but then he can't find her, so he's like, what's real? I don't know.
I
So then
love
it's dealing
that.
with that reality thing again. It's like, am I going crazy? Like I just saw her in real life, you know, and then that starts the whole thing because then he gets in like a spat with his best friend, and his best friend's like you're going crazy, dude, right?
Mhm.
Like you got to let her go, like stop thinking about her.
Not even let her go. She's a dream.
She's a dream. Yeah, yeah,
You can't marry a dream.
yeah, exactly. Okay. So that gets the story
middle.
going.
What
Mhm.
happens kind of that like totally flips everything on its head in the middle, like the midpoint, when the stakes are raised, when things get even more intense? James.
I think he finds her.
He finds her in the midpoint?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because then the rest of the story is, I mean, the whole promise is you have a realist and you have a dreamer.
Mm-hmm.
He finds her and like they know that they've dreamt about each other, right? But like she's not willing to accept it. So then the whole end half of it is going to be him trying to win her over, you know, because she's not on board with this whole thing. Maybe,
But trying to win her over in the dreams, I'm assuming, because the trick becomes like the second that he meets her, doesn't like the whole premise of then it just turns from like from like the premise of the reason people are there is to see, you know, this fantastical love scenario via dreams.
Okay, so
right?
all the romance has to go through the dream.
Exactly, because
Okay.
otherwise, as soon as they meet up, then it's
Uh-huh.
just two people's relationship. You know, then
Right.
you know,
It just gets a little complicated because then it's
Mhm.
like he's dealing with her in real life and then he's dealing with her in their dreams. And so there's that balance that we could work with. I don't know. What do you think would be a good like midpoint?
That's what I'm trying to decide when kind of the tables turn. So if his whole objective in the beginning is to find out if this girl's real,
Mhm.
right? Then possibly in the midpoint he finds out that she's real. But
Okay.
now he has to convince her that he's real.
Mm,
So like the first half of the movie is him trying to learn if she's real,
mhm.
and the second half is him trying to convince her that he's real.
And just to clarify, like he's trying to do that inside the dream.
Inside the dream.
Okay.
Because then that'll be so fun. He can
Right.
do all these romantic things like flowers. Or
Like,
did you want to visit Egypt? A picture and make a dream Egypt.
I'll make a dream. Perfect. So yeah, I like that. So we got
So he confirms somehow
Uh-huh.
that she is real.
Okay.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Does he hire a PI?
I
What
don't
those
know.
guys
Or
doing?
maybe they go to the same party.
Maybe. Oh, she lived that close?
Yeah.
All right.
Probably.
Great. So well, somehow
We got the beginning, middle, and end though.
The middle is
Yeah.
he sees her at a party again or something, or he confirms that she's real. That is the
Yeah.
big fact. So the details
Will be worked out
in the future
a later
when this
date.
project gets made.
Yeah.
So next step is creating an obstacle,
Mhm.
something that gets in the way of the objective in the beginning, from the beginning to the middle, and then from the middle to the end.
Something that
makes
gets in
sense.
the way.
That makes it harder. So it either needs to be an escalation,
Mhm.
so the stakes get raised.
Mhm.
It's more life or death, you know. Or option number 2 is it's complicated,
Mhm.
or complication, excuse me, where something happens that makes what they were doing before even harder to do.
Mhm.
I have a good complication for the beginning.
Oh, good.
And 3 is another one called a twist,
Ah.
where you know things
The
just flip
whole
on their
thing
head.
is just
Stuff you didn't see coming.
Yep.
7 minutes go.
And go. Okay, what's the idea you had?
So very easy complication in the beginning,
Mhm.
or it's at the end. I don't know, but one of
Yeah.
the complications could be that this guy actually starts dating
Becomes
real girl.
exclusive with real girl.
Exactly, that would
Okay.
complicate things.
That
Like
would.
he has a moment, like it would almost be like he has this moment where he gives up on Dream Girl in the beginning. And it's like, this girl's great, she's safe, like she likes me, I like her.
Yeah.
Let's make it official. They make it official, and then boom, like the next day, he finds out the Dream Girl's real.
Yes.
That's complication, right?
That would be complicated.
I wouldn't
That
like
would
that
be
situation.
Yeah. Okay.
So would that
Yeah.
go in the? Do you feel like that's a beginning or an end? Like between the beginning and the middle, or the middle and the end?
I almost feel like that's in the middle.
It's in the middle. Great.
Right?
So like a beginning to middle thing, like
Right, because the whole beginning half is we're promised like him trying to understand if she's real or not,
Mhm.
right? And so you need time to build that up. You need time to build up the complication with the real girl. not dream girl, the real girl, and having that dynamic. You need time to build all that up,
Mhm.
right? So that's a
Great.
good midpoint. Do you agree?
Yep, I
Okay.
agree. It'll make that midpoint of him discovering that she's real
Yeah.
land better if that complication happens right around the middle.
Everyone will be like,
Oh, snap. Good message.
Yeah.
Great. So we need one more, either a twist,
Uh-huh.
an escalation, or complications towards the end. So he knows he's real.
Uh-huh.
Well, of course, he knows he's
He
real.
knows he's
He
real.
knows he knows she's real.
Uh-huh.
And now he's trying to convince her that he's real.
Okay.
So what would complicate that, escalate that, or twist that? Any suggestions from our viewers? Because this one's trickier.
Yes.
Okay.
There's a few things that I don't really feel like are on it, but like in my head, some of the complications can come from his girlfriend, right? Like
That's
she
true.
finds his dream journal, or like,
Ooh,
or like
good one.
or something like that, right? That's where my head goes.
Let's see. So let's just brainstorm a complication, an escalation, and a twist.
Okay.
And just like we'll choose which ones work. These can be good or bad. Brainstorming is super helpful when you get stuck on a story. Especially the one thing to keep in mind is when you are brainstorming with somebody else, never, ever, ever, ever shoot down an idea.
He's really good at that with me. I give him a bunch of ideas, and he's always like, "Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's a good idea."
But it's really important because if you say no, that's a bad idea.
Kills creativity.
Kills it. Just absolutely kills it. You will not get another creative thought out of that person.
For the rest of the 4 minutes, let's figure this out.
Yeah,
brainstorming session.
The weirdest.
So throw out the first one we're gonna do. Complication, escalation, or twist.
Let's do a twist. Those are fun, and we're probably not gonna do a twist. We might do a twist, but like
twist.
Don't gotta come up with one.
Oh, dang it.
You have one. Why did you say dang it?
Well, because it defeats the whole premise of the thing is she actually is just in his dreams.
But, right. No, but that would be a twist. It's a good twist.
Yeah.
Whether or not we will use it's a different story, but it's a good twist.
Okay, cool.
Twist could also be that she figures out he's real, but or would this be a complication? She figures out that he's real, but she doesn't feel the same way, or doesn't think that she feels the same way.
I think that's a complication.
Okay, so I came up with a complication.
Yeah,
I'm awesome.
Okay, so now let's just figure out an escalation.
Yes.
Okay.
Things that would make it even more important for him to show her that what if their dreams are getting less frequent?
Yeah.
Escalation, if like their dream connection is collapsing and he only has like 3 days before it disappears forever.
Yeah. The dream genie told him that he's got 10 more dreams left.
The sixth character. You have 10 more dreams before it goes away.
Yeah. No, okay. So the dreams are running out. Running out of dream juice. And
I really like that.
That's actually really cool.
The dream juice puts a clock on it,
It does. Whereas like you've existed in this dream and you can do all these fun things, and that's where you get used to, and then all of a sudden you like that's at risk. I feel like I would love that, like watching that, being like, oh no,
what are they gonna do? And he's got to convince her in like X amount of time. What's gonna happen? All right. Yeah. Do we just break the story?
I think so.
I think we just broke the story. We'll do a 2-minute recap, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. So
okay.
Good job, everyone.
Good job, everyone. We did it.
Thanks everyone for your participation. Yeah. So the story of this time. Let's do. Oh, why am I don't need to do this anymore.
No, just recap it.
Let's just recap it. All right. I don't know. We'll call it
start at the beginning.
Dreamscape. We'll call it for now.
Dreamscape for now.
So in the beginning, there's a man, and the man has been dreaming of the same girl his whole life since he was 8 years old.
Since he could ever remember his first dream. And she was there.
They've connected, obviously, and bonded because they see each other every single night, and they hang out and have all these crazy adventures with all the different things that you do in dreams, right? He is a lot more introverted than she is. She's much more extroverted, adventurous, but she pushes him to do things that he's not comfortable with, and he helps talk her out of, the problems she gets herself into, and like almost like a little therapist.
Yeah,
kind of.
Yeah, but in like to support her.
Yeah,
emotionally. Yeah,
he's an emotional support for her.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the beginning of it, right?
Yeah. So they're going through, but then one day something happens that changes everything.
What happens?
He sees her in real life.
What?
At least he thinks he does. He's just passing through a crowded area, probably the mall or an airport or something.
Yeah.
Probably an airport.
The moment I think of, sorry, just to give more real context, if you've
Great.
seen, what's the video game guy?
Free Guy.
Free Guy. You know, where he's like the bank teller and then he sees the girl, right?
Yes.
And then he pursues her.
Great.
That's the moment I kind of envision something like that. If you've ever seen it. Yeah.
Then
Sees
equate
her.
it to that.
So boom, what? See her.
What is this? Trying to find her, but there's too many people.
Uh-huh.
He loses her in the crowd and she's gone. But now he's left with the question, wait, are my dreams real or are they not real?
Yeah. Do I dream of actual reality or am I going crazy?
So he's talking to like his therapist and his best friend. He's even talking to the dream girl in their dreams, trying to just suss out if she's real or not.
Yeah. Subtly being like, well, yeah, this thing about real life and
this
seeing if like
event.
this global event. November 23rd.
And then what happens is during this time, the guy's best friend is trying to like get him to go out and, move on with his life and stop getting hung up on dreams and
to experience real life and new things.
Yeah, because this guy is very caught up in his own self. He goes to work. He never wanted to be at a dead end job. He's got dreams that he didn't fulfill. And we see this all in the beginning as he's going throughout his day. We get introduced to all the characters. Yeah. But during this middle part, the best friend really pushes him to like go on dates and stuff and sets him up with his cousin.
Yeah.
Who's a good girl.
Great girl and very real. And he knows she's real.
And safe.
Right? And safe. Is that the midpoint where he meets her or at the midpoint where he decides to be exclusive with her?
I think the midpoint happens actually after. So I think that, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think what we came up with is that so he decides that he's gonna like eventually he hits this low point where he's like, okay, I think that is the midpoint. I think the midpoint is he hits a low point and decides, as always, to give up on his dreams. Yeah, because that's what the midpoint also needs to be. It needs to be a false high or a false low.
Right. So he gives up on everything and is like, okay, fine, I'll be your boyfriend.
Because he likes her. It's not like he's just like.
Yeah, but he's like disappointed because it's like it means giving up again on something that he's dreamt about and like has wanted, right?
Even though he knows it's probably not real.
Right.
But psych, literally within a week of going exclusive with this other girl, he confirms that the dream girl is real, that she does exist.
What?
But during this time, he's also, he still likes this other girl. It's one of the best girls he's ever met and ever dated. But
there's no spark there.
No spark there.
There's no like, yes, this is it. This is the person. It's very like, okay, going through the motions still. Like that's what he does. He goes through the motions.
But there's a problem. And the problem is he knows she's real.
Yeah.
But Dream Girl does not know that he is real. And she is very practical, very down to earth.
Right. She doesn't keep a dream journal.
No.
Right. So she's forgotten a little bit more about their dates and stuff in the dream. Right.
Right. So then he has to set out to try and convince her that he's real.
That he's real. Right. Inside the dream, he has to convince her that he's real.
But there's a problem.
The problem.
And it's probably during like some sort of hypnotherapy session with his therapist, he discovers that the dream connection that he has with this girl is disappearing.
Right. He's got a limited amount of dreams left, or the dreams are going to start getting weaker and weaker, and he's going to remember less and less of them. Excuse me. And so it kind of puts that timing on it, right? Like, okay, we got to figure this out. Like, if I want this to be real, I got to figure this out.
He has 3 to 4 days probably to convince her that she's real.
Yeah.
And so he tries and he tries and he tries and he tries. And then ultimately
he succeeds.
He succeeds.
And convinces her that he's real in the nick of time. And he's like, maybe in the last dream he has with her, he's like, meet me here at this time.
Cool.
Like meet me here.
Yes.
I'm real, I promise, or something like that.
As he's fading,
it's like, I'm real.
Just like that.
Boom, dream done. And he wakes up, he's like,
shucks. But then every day he goes to a place waiting for his dream girl.
Yeah.
He probably broke up with the other girl before then as well.
Yeah. Or does he go on just that one day?
I don't know. Oh, maybe it's probably one day.
It's just
more
one day. He's there. He goes and he's waiting and nobody's showing up. He said, meet me there at 8 p.m. It's 8:05. It's 8:10, and he's there all alone, and he's kicking the rocks, kicking the dirt, and he turns around to go home at 8:15, and boom! Shouted at the camera. Boom, she's there.
And they run and they embrace and they kiss.
And it's a movie.
And it's a movie.
Yeah.
Tied up with a nice bow. That's a great story.
Yeah,
Actually.
that is
I
a great
really like that one.
I watch that.
I'd watch that. And
Great.
thank you for watching this.
Yeah.
If you stuck with us, thank you so
Yeah.
much. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Yes.
Yeah, because that helps us so much.
Yeah, like it, share it, anything honestly helps tremendously. So
especially because we have so much new stuff coming and some really big, exciting news that you're all gonna want to see coming very, very soon.
Yes.
So spread the word.
You're gonna want to make sure that you're aware, you get the notification or whatever, because things are coming your way. We're doing a lot.
We are. And we're excited to get all of you involved.
Yes.
There's a little hint. But until next time, I'm Jonathan.
And I'm James.
And this has been Storytime with JJ. Talk to you guys next time.
All right, we'll see ya.
Bye.
Oh,
Bye.
And bye.
Bye.